Maya has always been in battle, whether that be against people in the creek or even against her own self. Rishi's always tried to be the best person she can be. Maya has always fought an invisible battle with herself nobody can see. Maya as a character has been around for a little while now, acting as Xavier's right-hand man and sword, always acting under his beck and call, never ever questioning his authority. She's never given a second thought to Xavier's way of power, often believing that it is the type of power needed to rule this softer generation of the Creek, due to how peaceful and laid back the Creek has become. This is coming from a character who used to be as determined as Kelsey, bright-eyed as Craig, and intentful as JP. She possessed qualities that kids her age naturally had in playing and exploring at the Creek, until she realized that fun was a fallacy that can never truly last. In the season 3 episode, The Rise and Fall of the Green Poncho, it starts off with Craig and the Stump Kids briefing the rest of the kids of the Creek about King Xavier and how dangerous he is, by bringing them to the overpass where just beyond there lies King Xavier and his kingdom. So as Craig is warning them, the kids, especially Eliza, seems to be reluctant about the whole thing, not believing Craig in the slightest about King Xavier. So the boy Omar appears, backing up Craig by, reiterating just how dangerous King Xavier is. As we are taken through a flashback where we get to see just how dangerous Xavier is, with how Omar reminisces on his relationship with Maya and how close they were until Xavier showed up and pinned them against each other. And we see that Omar is just hung up about the whole thing, and we get to see the former Green Poncho as he tries to make Omar see reason behind Maya's decision, and that she made this decision because she wanted to be cool. And so we cut to the palace as we see Xavier being crowned as the new king of the Creek, with Maya being given the title as Xavier's BFF. And we see that Maya isn't all that happy about it, showing the cracks in her armor. And so we see that both Omar and the Green Poncho are training together. But the boy Omar, we see that it's taken an emotional toll on him, due to we see that his performance is below average in his training. And I just mess with the former Green Poncho. As though she is stoic and cold, she can still be caring with how she continues to give Omar the much needed advice about Maya. Then we see King Xavier in action as he stumbles across a bunch of kids recounting when he was refused access to play with them. And so to get, revenge, he then decides to smash their toys. And Maya once again questions Xavier's power and their hesitancy to break the toys. Then the Green Poncho shows up, saving the day. And we just see how skilled she is. And then Omar shows up wanting to reach a common ground with Maya. Then the Green Poncho takes Xavier and escapes. Then we cut back to Omar and the Green Poncho as Omar has a breakdown about Maya, but Omar runs away. And I forgot to mention that Omar received a text from Maya to meet up. And so Omar meets with Maya, and they are just reminded of the good old days they used to have. And then Maya proposes the idea for Omar to join the forces of Xavier, and that things would be normal again. But Omar is not having any of it, and then Xavier shows up, confirming this meetup to have been a setup, as he knew Omar would decline the offer. Then the Green Poncho shows up again to the rescue Omar, but the unthinkable happens as Xavier exposes the true identity of the Green Poncho, being a high schooler named Michelle Green. And so now the Green Poncho is forced to leave the Creek. And can I just say the dramatic, scenes of this show is pretty much unmatched, with the animators knowing when to make the scene so serious for the audience to pay more attention to. And in a quick instance, the Green Poncho leaves the Creek, leaving Omar to himself. And Maya goes in, asking if Omar would join. Omar doubles down on his answer as he runs away. And then we get to see this epic montage of Omar training to fulfill his role as the new Green Poncho. And we get this cool scene with this man Omar looking up at the skies, fully accepting his position in this battle as the next Green Poncho, which is just so dope. Then we cut back to the present as we see Craig try to now make the council of the Creek see reason for why this meeting was formed regarding King Xavier. But unfortunately, the council leaves. But some kids like the Sewer Queen, Cannonball, and even Jason stays behind to fight alongside the Stump Kids. And that is how the episode ends. Yeah, man, this episode was really interesting with how it mostly showed Maya and what she was up to through the perspective of Omar, and how Omar is just worried for Maya in the decision she made. The episode helped with really exploring how Maya felt after making that decision, and that she did it to have a purpose greater than herself, even though it threatened her friendship and overall integrity to Omar. We also see that within this episode, Maya undergoes an internal battle with herself, and that if she really made the right decision, with how she constantly hesitates in following the orders given to her by Xavier, because she is fighting a battle within herself to determine which side she should be on. This episode helped paint the picture of Maya, giving us the why behind her motives. If this episode did it good, then the next episode will do it really well, highlighting Maya's growth and her redemption to true comfortability with herself. In the season 4 episode, Dodgy Decisions, we are with the Stump Kids once again as they are chilling with Omar, as we see Omar is just now a part of the group now, as they are called for a dodgeball game, which is supposed to be this revered day. And so as they arrive at the spot, Craig's name is called alongside Jackie to be the leaders for their respective teams. And if you guys don't remember who Jackie is, he was the arm who was known for his exceptional throwing skills during the Capture the Flag. And so we see that the boy is deaf. And I just respect the representation shown for like deaf people and like for people with hearing disabilities. So Jackie communicates through sign language, and the team leaders begin to pick out their teams as both Craig and Jackie's team quickly fill up. We see that Craig forgets about Kelsey, choosing Bobby instead, which is honestly crazy to me because like she's the day one homie. So I would have, imagined Craig picking Kelsey first. But moving on, we see that Kelsey is hurt, and then we see Maya show up as she is picked by Jackie, which raises the tensions even more as Omar spots her, not knowing how she'll react after what happened between them last. Then we see the kids battle each other in this action type sequence, with even Bobby, this man, turning Super Saiyan. Like, man, you cannot make this up. Then we see that Maya and Omar talk it out, trying to understand each other again, as Maya doesn't remember why they were really fighting in the first place. Then Maya admits to wanting to, be friends with Omar again, finally opening up to Omar, even though she doesn't know how. Then we get a sweet ending with Craig and Kelsey, and how Kelsey, crossed off her name for Craig in order for him to be chosen, showing just how good of a friend Kelsey is. And this makes Omar question if Maya and Omar could even have that friendship. Then we see Maya leave, but with her waving goodbye, showing that there is still hope for their friendship to be revitalized again. And that's how the episode ends, folks. This episode, even though it didn't solely focus on Maya, it did highlight Maya, and her new outlook on the term friendship, and that even though she may not completely understand it, she's still willing to try. I believe that this last episode, though, will close out Maya's character completely through us being exposed to Maya's life outside the creek, and how she exists within it. In the season 5 episode, A League of Maya's Own, it starts off with Craig, Omar, and Xavier at Maya's front door, as Omar is trying to get through to Maya to have a one-on-one conversation with her, as Omar recounts their past, as we are greeted to a flashback that is 3 months ago after the end of the Capture the Flag arc, as Omar removes his poncho in pure excitement to find Maya where she is nowhere to be found, leaving only behind her cloak. Then we cut to Maya returning to her house as she proclaims that she will never return to the creek. And then we see Maya's mom, and she's pretty chill for the most part and very outspoken, which is typical for moms, especially in like black households, which is just so relatable. Then Maya's mom encourages Maya to reach out to Omar, but Maya says that she has her priorities arranged with trying to get on the baseball team. And then we see Maya try out for the team, and she banks it out the water. Then we see her, back at the house, and she tells her mom about the good news, but her mom brings up Omar once again, and that is when Maya has a breakdown with her not wanting to, hear about Omar. Then her mom, in an, understanding way, decides that they should talk it out, which goes to show how cool her mom is. Then we cut back to the present as Omar is telling the, gang how Maya could never be bought with materialistic things as Xavier tries to strike a deal with her, and that he knows her the most. As we cut to another flashback where Maya is trying to make friends with her baseball team, even making the same jokes that Omar would make, but that doesn't work, which ultimately just makes her think about Omar even more. Then Maya tries to remember what Omar told her about the heart of the forest. And then we are taken to another flashback as the previous BFF and Randy also reminds her of the many duties she will have as the BFF, which allows for her to remember the cube that is in her cape. Then we see Maya's mom show up as they take a little, walk, just chatting with each other, which is just so wholesome to me. And it's cool to see how parents in this show, are present in their lives, in the lives of their children. Then we see that Maya meets up with Omar as she wants to, show the cube to Omar, but Omar immediately accuses her of being the red poncho, crushing Maya to bits and pieces, making her once again question the concept of friendship and trust. And that's how the episode ends. This episode was incredible, really diving into Maya's personal life and the people around her that, keep her structured, like her mom. Even though at times Maya can appear tough under all that armor that she puts up, there still lies a kid who just wants to be accepted for who she is. And yes, this episode did end on a bad note. It still helped me understand Maya as a kid outside of the creek, showing just how interesting she is as a character. And yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've been loving these Craig analysis videos because it just really dives into the minutia of each character that isn't really paid attention to. And so yeah, man, I've just been loving this series so far. If you guys have any other characters you want me to go through, please list them in the comment section down below. And just tell me what you guys thought about Maya as a character. Did you always, like her character? Did you always believe her character to be even more? Like, I want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section down below, because Maya, her character arcs are some of the most amazing and interesting, character arcs to go through in the show. So yeah, man, I know there are like a plethora of more underrated characters in Craig the Creek that deserve their own analysis video. And yeah, man, just comment them down in the comment section down below and I'll see to it immediately. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for the support. God bless y'all. Peace.